Hi friends, Juan the Yarn Addict here, bringing you a tutorial on how to crochet a modern rectangle granny. The yarns you see before you will be the yarns we use in today's tutorial. These are all medium 4-weight yarns, Loops and Threads Soft Classic, and in between each color we're going to be using white. So in addition to that, I will be using a 6mm crochet hook. I do have a pair of scissors and a needle to sew in my ends. I do have a completed rectangle to share with you today. This is what this looks like completed. It's super nice. So as I mentioned, we have white separating each of the colors, and then at the very end of the sample here, I ended with white. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So to get started, we're going to use the color red. And we are going to create a slip knot on our hook. So however you do this is absolutely fine, so long as the end result is this. From here, we're going to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to continue on, and I will pick back up once I have 20 chains. Okay, friends, so we have 20 chains here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to go right in there. Okay, and in this particular chain, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, go into the 4th chain, which is right where my thumb is, draw up a loop. There's 3 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. The chain 3 that we skipped here, that does count as a double crochet. Okay, so as of right now, we have 2 stitches in the chain. Okay, we're going to go back into that chain and do another double crochet. So yarn over, go into the chain, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, just like that. From here, we're going to skip 3 more chains. So skip, skip, skip. We're going to go into this 4th chain right here, and in this chain, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Okay? So let me grab the yarn, yarn over, skip, 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 and go in right there. One, 2, and 3. Just like that. Now, as you can see, this is lifted a little bit. That's perfectly fine. That actually helps us out. So no worries if you see how raised that is. Okay, so we're going to repeat that. We're going to skip 3 chains. So skip, skip, skip. Let's go into the 4th chain, yarn over first, go into the chain, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. In that same chain, we're going to add 2 more double crochets. So yarn over, go in, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. We're going to do that one more time. Yarn over, go in, draw up your loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And so now we have 3 sets of granny stitch clusters. Okay, so we have a couple more to go. Continue doing that, making sure that you skip 3, go into the 4th one, and do 3 double crochets. And then I will meet you right after that, okay? Okay, friends, so I am back. I just did the set of 3 double crochets, and you should have 4 chains remaining. Okay, so we're going to skip 3 chains, and we're going to go into that last chain with 3 double crochets. So let's yarn over, go into that last chain, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. We're going to do that 2 more times. Okay, so this is going to be the one end of our rectangle. So to build the end, we have the one side already. We're going to chain 2 to create a corner, and we're going to swivel this down and around, so this is up and down like this. We're going to go back into the chain that we just came out of, and we're going to do 3 double crochets back into that particular chain. So we're going to yarn over, go in, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Okay, it's taking shape. And so now the second side is built. Now we need to create another corner. Let me grab some more yarn here. Okay, so from here we're going to chain 2, and we're going to swivel it around just like this, and we're going to go back into that chain with 3 more double crochets. And the one end of our rectangle is built. Okay, so now it's pretty simple from here. So you can kind of see where we need to work. So we need to go into the chains where we have already built our 3 double crochets on the other side. So we have a granny cluster here, here, and here that we need to make. We also need to finish making the other end, but for now we need to do 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. So let's get started. We're going to yarn over, go into that open space, draw up the loop, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and then we're going to do that 2 more times. Okay, hop over, go right into the next hole there, 3 double crochets, so that's the second set of double crochets done. And now we're going to go in here and do 3 more double crochets in this particular chain. So yarn over, go right in, and do 3 double crochets. Okay, so once we pull on it a little bit, it'll close right up. Okay, so now we're going to build the other end of our rectangle. So we're going to go into this particular stitch that we first created our 3 sets of stitches. We're going to yarn over, go into that particular chain, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. We're going to do that 2 more times. Okay, so from here we're going to chain 2 to create our corner. We're going to swivel around. We're going to go back into this open space right there, the chain, 3 double crochets. Okay, we're almost finished. We now have to close out the first round. So to do that, we're going to chain 2. We're going to swivel around, and we're going to insert our hook into this middle stitch. So we have a chain 3, and then we have 2 double crochets here. So to close out the round, we're going to go right into that middle stitch right there, draw up a loop, slip, and then chain 2. We're going to grab a pair of scissors, cut a tail, and then pull the hook away from our work. And then we're going to take our one hand and pinch at the top, giving a few inches there, and then take your other hand and lightly squeeze the yarn and slide down. And what you want to do is you want to slide these 2 chains into the stitch right above where the chains are there. So we're going to scrunch it down into the work. And it should look like that. Okay, so that is the very beginning of our rectangle. Super nice. Okay, so I'd like us to sew in our ends as we go. So here in the very beginning, we actually crocheted over our beginning tail here. So we don't have to sew that in. All we have to do is just trim it. So that's done there. On the other end, however, we do need to sew this in. So to sew this in, and I'm only going to show you guys this a couple times, not every round. So what you want to do is you want to yarn over the eye of your needle. You want to pinch directly underneath, nice and tight like that. And you want to pull the needle away and then feed it through. And that's how you do that. And I'd like to utilize the zigzag technique. So the zigzag technique is going one direction this way, one direction this way, and then coming back in the original direction. Okay? Just creating like a zigzag. And since it's all the same color, no rhyme, no reason. Just go in wherever the breeze takes you. And just separate it out like that to flatten it out. Let's go back in. Ideally, you would like to get in between the fibers so it holds the yarn better. Let's go back for a final pass. Okay. So just take your fingers and squeeze, flatten it all out. Okay. And now we're going to take the scissors and we're going to trim. Okay. So this is round 1 completed. Okay, friends, so now that round 1 is done, we're going to move on to round 2. So round 2 has a series of chains and single crochets. Okay. I'm choosing an opposing color. You can choose whatever color you'd like, preferably not the same color. You want to change that up. Okay, so to get started, we're going to create a slip knot on our hook. However you do this is fine. This is how I do it. And from here, we're going to go into one of the corners. Now, preferably not one that you just came out of. So we just came out of this corner here. We're going to go into this corner here. So to get started on round 2, what we need to do is go into the corner, draw up a loop, and now we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through both of those loops. That is what you call a standing single crochet. And that is how every round of singles, that's how it gets started, a standing single crochet. Okay, so from here we're going to chain 1. We're going to go back into the corner with a single crochet, chain 1, and then back into that same corner with a 3rd single crochet. So 1, 2, 3. Every corner, every time, always 3. Okay, and in between those single crochets are chains. Okay, so from here we're going to hop over to the next corner, but before we do that, we need to chain 2. Now we're going to go into the corner with a single crochet, chain 1, go back into the corner with a single crochet, chain 1, and then for a 3rd time, a single crochet. Now before we move on, you're probably wondering, Juan, why did you only chain 2 and not 3? Because I'm going over 3 stitches. Now you can do that if you want. The choice is completely yours to make. However, I like my holes very tight. If I chain 3 here and I build on top of that, the hole will be larger. So I'm doing it to minimize the holes. It still works, it still lays flat, it's perfect. So you can choose to do that or not, but for this tutorial, every time we hop over the granny stitch, we're going to do 2 chains. Okay? So from here, we're going to chain 2. We're going to hop over and go into the next space right here where my fingers are. Single crochet. We're going to chain 2. Go into the next space with a single crochet. Chain 2. And then just continue doing this process. So it's going to be a single crochet and chain 2, single crochet and chain 2. As you can see, it lays flat. It doesn't buckle. You don't have to worry about it not being enough. It's perfect. Okay? So continue doing this until you get to the corner. And this is what the one side looks like. Okay? So now, in the corner, we're going to repeat it like we just did 2 other times. It's going to be a single crochet and chain 1, single crochet and chain 1, single crochet. 3 singles with chains in between them. Now we're going to chain 2 and hop over to the next corner and do the same thing we just did here. Single, chain, single, chain, and then single. Okay, so this is what we're looking like so far. Very nice. And now we're going to continue going down the side here. So it's going to be chain 2 and a single. Oops. Chain 2 and a single. Chain 2 and a single. Chain 2 and a single. And then here we are. Let's just finish this up and do a chain 2. And now to close out round 2, what we need to do is we need to insert the tip of our crochet hook into this very first stitch. It's the standing single crochet. We're going to go in there, draw up a loop, slip to close, and then chain 2. Like the previous round, we're going to cut a tail. We're going to pull the hook away from our work. We're going to grab it at the top here, pinch directly under, and we're going to pull down, and we're going to squeeze this down into the work. And that's what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to pause this for 1 second, and I'm going to sew in this end, and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, now that round 2 is done, this is the back. The ends have been sewn in, and this is the front. Okay, now we finished in this corner, so it's preferable that we don't start where we stopped. So we stopped here, so let's flip this around and let's go into that corner there. So as always, we need to create a slip knot on our hook, and I'm choosing yet another color. So let's go ahead and do the slip knot there. And what we need to do is go into the space in between the single crochets. So you can kind of see where the spaces are. There's 2 spaces there. And in each space, we're going to do 3 double crochets. But to get started, we need to do a standing single crochet. So we're going to go into the stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, and go through both of those loops, just like that. That is a standing single crochet. And then we're going to chain 2. From here, we're going to go back into that space with 2 more double crochets. Now we're going to chain 2. And we're going to go into this next space right here with 3 double crochets. So yarn over, go into that space, drop a loop, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. We're going to do that 2 more times. Okay. Get back there. Okay, good. All right, so that's the first corner. Now we're going to go into this chain space and we're going to do 3 double crochets. So yarn over, go in, and do our double crochet per normal. And now you can kind of see why I only chain 2 and not 3. You see how big that hole is? And that's just 2 chains. It will flatten out as we work, but you know, it just looks nicer with 2 chains. So now we're going to build this corner the same way we did the first corner here. So we're going to yarn over and go into that space, draw up a loop, yarn over, and just do the double crochet as normal. So we're going to do 2 more to finish the one side of our corner. Yarn over, go in, and just finish out that double crochet like that. And I'm going to continue this quietly so you can see what I'm doing. Chain 2. Now I'm going to hop over to this next space here, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets. So that's what we're looking like so far, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go into every space, every chain space, and do 3 double crochets, okay? So I'll do this first one with you, and then I will pause us, and I'm going to continue down and meet you here at the end. So yarn over, go into your chain space, and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, go right into the next space, no chains. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So continue doing that, and I will meet you at this corner right here. Okay, friends, so here I am at the corner, and so what we need to do is we need to go into this space right here. So right above it is a chain. So we need to go in there with 3 double crochets, and then chain 2, and then in here with 3 double crochets. So let's do that together. Yarn over, go into your space right there, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. We're going to do that 2 more times. From here we're going to chain 2. We're going to hop over here to this next space right there, yarn over and go in and do 3 double crochets. Let me make sure I got it right. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now we have the chain space right above this cluster, and we're going to go right into that chain space with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do the same thing on this corner that we did on this corner. So we're going to go into that space there with 3 double crochets, and then into this space here with 3 double crochets. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back as soon as we come out of that corner. Okay, friends, so I just came out of the corner, and this is what we're looking like. We did 3 double crochets, we chained 2, and then we did 3 double crochets. From here, we're going to go on top of every cluster and do another cluster in the chain spaces. So 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, all the way down. So continue on with that, and I will meet you at the end of round 3. Okay? Okay, friends, so I am at the end of round 3. And to close off the round, what we need to do is go right into that middle stitch. Now, there's many ways people close out their rounds when they're doing granny squares and rectangles and things. But for me, I like to go into that middle stitch because the chains aren't as stable as a stitch. So I go into that middle stitch, I draw up a loop, and I slip to close, and then I chain 2. And from here, as always, I cut a tail, pull the hook away from our work, grab the tail like so, like that, pinch, and pull down towards the work, just like that. That knot's not coming out anywhere. So that's what we're looking like after round 3. Super nice. Look how nice and organized that looks. It's so great. Okay, you guessed it, friends. For round 4, it's going to be the same as round 2. Okay, so I'm going to pause us. I'm going to sew in my ends, and I'm going to grab the white, and we're going to do round 4 in just a second. Okay, friends, so this is what round 3 looks like, completed and sewn in. So nice. Okay, so for round 4, we're going to copy round 2. So to get started, we're going to create a slip knot on our hook. As always, however you do this is fine. This is how I do it. And from here, we're going to pick a corner. Okay, so I just came out of this corner here, so we're going to hop over to this corner here. I like to alternate. It keeps everything balanced. So as always, we're going to go in and create a standing single crochet. So go into your corner, draw up a loop. You'll have 2 loops there. Yarn over and go through both loops, just like that. From here, we're going to chain 1, go back into the corner and do a single crochet, chain 1, and go in for a 3rd time with a single crochet, just like that. From here, we're going to chain 2, go into the space in between the clusters here. On the ends, it's a little tight, so depending on the yarn you're using. So this orange yarn for me was very thick. So I'm going to go into that space and do a single crochet, chain 2, come over here with a single crochet, chain 2, and now for the corners, it's going to be single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and then a single crochet. So you're going to repeat that in every corner. Okay, now going down the side, it's going to be a chain 2 and go into the space in between the clusters with a single crochet. Chain 2, go in between with a single crochet. Okay, so you're going to continue on doing chain 2s and single crochets, chain 2s, single crochets all the way down. And in the corner, you're going to repeat what we just did right here, okay? So continue on with that, and I will see you at the end of round 4. Okay, friends, so here we are at the end of round 4, and this is what we're looking like. Super nice. So from here, let's see, we have the chain 2s already there. So like round 2, what we need to do is go into the very first single crochet, drop a loop and slip to close, and then we're going to chain 2 and cut a tail, pull the hook away from our work, pinch and pull down, just like that. Okay, so that is the end of round number 4. So I'm going to latch on round number 5 and just show you one more time how to add, the granny cluster rounds, okay? And then I'm going to do several more rows after that and show you what a completed rectangle looks like. All right, so let me go ahead and sew in my ends and I will be right back. Okay, friends, so I am back. I have yet another color and I'm going to go into this corner here. Again, make sure you're alternating, okay? And if your squares aren't perfectly square, don't worry about it. As the project grows, it will actually fill out quite nicely. As you can see, the first couple rounds are laying out perfect. Don't worry, it's fine. So what you want to do is create a slip knot on your hook. However you do this is fine. This is how I do it. And from here, you want to go into the space in between the singles there. Draw up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and go through both of those loops just like that. And you're going to chain 2. And in that space, you're going to do 2 more double crochets. just like that. Okay, that yellow is coming out very bright. So from here, we're going to chain 2. We're going to swivel around and we're going to go into this space right here. Yarn over, go into the space, draw up a loop, do your double crochet, and go ahead and do 2 more. Just like that. Okay? So now that we've latched on, I'm going to continue doing this entire round, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do several more rounds to show you a bigger version of what this looks like. Okay, so for you it'll be just a few seconds, for me a little longer, but I shall return with a bigger version of this modern rectangle. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay friends, so I added several additional rounds to the project here, and this is what we're looking like. It's super nice. Look at that. This is the back. So nice. Well, my friends, I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give me a like. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I plan on doing many more things like this. And of course, hit the notification bell to stay updated with everything regarding me and my channel. So that is all I have for you guys today. And until the next one, take care, friends. Bye.